Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. The Chevy Equinox from your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers is a green thumbs up, inside and out. Lease a 2020 Equinox LT front-wheel drive for just $261 a month for 36 months. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
Football is a big deal in this house. So when Maurice was injured, we immediately thought the worst. To see my baby lose his joy hurt.
The DMC, Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan, is here to help athletes get back in the game.
They're like family. It was a long road, but we made it back.
DMC, Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan, a community built on care.
Soccer. Watch it at Detroit's premier soccer bar, the Detroit City Clubhouse. We have domestic and international. Soccer. Enjoy cold beer. Don't forget to pies. The Detroit City Clubhouse. Perfect for birthday parties and corporate events. Detroit City Clubhouse. Detroit's home for soccer.
In Michigan, the future is something we build with our hands and our hearts. So as one of the biggest investors in infrastructure in the state, DTE will spend $2 billion with Michigan companies this year alone, creating thousands of jobs while providing clean, safe, reliable energy, improving lives today, and building an even stronger tomorrow. Because we're all Michiganders. Nothing stands in our way. DTE.
Imaginary lines that lie between us, it's just lies. You see us beyond races and classes. One day we'll all dance and raise glasses. See, we are one. This doesn't have to be a zero-sum game where some lose and some gain. Time, space, distance, it's all relative. Think about it, we're all relatives. No time to build walls, we got bridges to mend. And that's the beauty of us, the beauty of blend.
The Chevy Trax from your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers has a sporty, compact design that makes it the perfect SUV for everywhere you like to roll. Lease a 2020 Trax LT front-wheel drive for just $222 a month. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. The Chevy Traverse from your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers fits your life with room to grow. Lease a 2020 Traverse LT front-wheel drive for just $279 a month for 24 months. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
Football is a big deal in this house. So when Maurice was injured, we immediately thought the worst. To see my baby lose his joy hurt.
The DMC, Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan, is here to help athletes get back in the game.
They're like family. It was a long road, but we made it back.
DMC, Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan, a community built on care.
When it comes to Michigan's future, DTE is all in for you. So we're giving 2 million masks to frontline workers and 600,000 to small businesses as they reopen, helping over 500,000 families with meals and shelter, and leading a coalition to provide tablets and internet access to 51,000 school children so they can keep learning at home. DTE is all in for you. DTE.
Imaginary lines that lie between us, it's just lies. You see us beyond races and classes. One day we'll all dance and raise glasses. See, we are one. This doesn't have to be a zero-sum game where some lose and some gain. Time, space, distance, it's all relative. Think about it, we're all relatives. No time to build walls, we got bridges to mend. And that's the beauty of us, the beauty of blend.
With Equinox from your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers, the sky isn't the limit. Lease a 2020 Equinox LT front-wheel drive for just $261 a month. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. The Chevy Equinox from your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers is a green thumbs up, inside and out. Lease a 2020 Equinox LT front-wheel drive for just $261 a month for 36 months. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
Football is a big deal in this house. So when Maurice was injured, we immediately thought the worst. To see my baby lose his joy hurt.
The DMC, Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan, is here to help athletes get back in the game.
They're like family. It was a long road, but we made it back.
DMC, Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan, a community built on care.
Soccer, soccer, soccer. Watch it at Detroit's premier soccer bar, the Detroit City Clubhouse. We have domestic and international. Soccer, soccer, soccer. Enjoy cold beer. Don't forget to pies, pies, pies. The Detroit City Clubhouse. Perfect for birthday parties and corporate events. Detroit City Clubhouse. Detroit's home for soccer, soccer, soccer.
In Michigan, the future is something we build with our hands and our hearts. So as one of the biggest investors in infrastructure in the state, DTE will spend $2 billion with Michigan companies this year alone, creating thousands of jobs while providing clean, safe, reliable energy, improving lives today, and building an even stronger tomorrow. Because we're all Michiganders. Nothing stands in our way. DTE.
Imaginary lines that lie between us, it's just lies. You see us beyond races and classes. One day we'll all dance and raise glasses. See, we are one. This doesn't have to be a zero-sum game where some lose and some gain. Time, space, distance, it's all relative. Think about it. We're all relatives. No time to build walls. We got bridges to mend. And that's the beauty of us. The beauty of blend.
The Chevy Trax from your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers has a sporty, compact design that makes it the perfect SUV for everywhere you like to roll. Lease a 2020 Trax LT front-wheel drive for just $222 a month. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. The Chevy Traverse from your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers fits your life with room to grow. Lease a 2020 Traverse LT front-wheel drive for just $279 a month for 24 months. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
Football is a big deal in this house. So when Maurice was injured, we immediately thought the worst. To see my baby lose his joy hurt.
The DMC, Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan, is here to help athletes get back in the game.
They're like family. It was a long road, but we made it back.
DMC, Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan, a community built on care.
When it comes to Michigan's future, DTE is all in for you. So we're giving 2 million masks to frontline workers and 600,000 to small businesses as they reopen, helping over 500,000 families with meals and shelter, and leading a coalition to provide tablets and internet access to 51,000 school children so they can keep learning at home. DTE is all in for you. DTE.
Imaginary lines that lie between us, it's just lies. You see us beyond races and classes. One day we'll all dance and raise glasses. See, we are one. This doesn't have to be a zero-sum game where some lose and some gain. Time, space, distance, it's all relative. Think about it. we're all relatives. No time to build walls. We got bridges to mend. And that's the beauty of us, the beauty of blend.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome inside historic Keyworth Stadium as we begin play in the third place game of the Keyworth Showcase. We are your Stroh's Watch City broadcast team. Happy to have you along. It's going to be a cooker today in Keyworth Stadium. Lansing United, Livonia City FC square off. Lansing United coming off that disappointer against Detroit City FC last night. Livonia City looking to build on some positives of the second half of the Midwest United game. We will get you to the opening kick coming up next.
With Equinox from your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers, the sky isn't the limit. Lease a 2020 Equinox LT front-wheel drive for just $261 a month. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. The Chevy Equinox from your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers is a green thumbs up, inside and out. Lease a 2020 Equinox LT front-wheel drive for just $261 a month for 36 months. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
Football is a big deal in this house. So when Maurice was injured, we immediately thought the worst. To see my baby lose his joy hurt.
The DMC, Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan, is here to help athletes get back in the game.
They're like family. It was a long road, but we made it back.
DMC, Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan, a community built on care.
Anchor Bay High School soccer legend Daniela Bruce. My name is Neil Rule. We are your Watch City broadcast team, brought to you by Stroh's. Happy to have you along. And Daniela, maybe as much as anything that happens on the pitch, the conditions out there today, it feels like 95 degrees, and that's just in the air. That's not down there on the pitch. You and I were talking pregame. It certainly will be a factor.
Definitely, Neil. I think it will actually be a very big factor in this game, especially both these teams having played yesterday. Now, these ladies, they know how to stay in shape. They know how to stay hydrated. They know how to eat right. They know how to, even days before, prep for games like this. But fatigue will definitely be a thing, and I think something you're going to notice is teams always want to keep possession, but even more so when the weather's like this and it's really hot down there, you do not want to be chasing in this kind of weather.
And that certainly will be a developing story that we will keep an eye on. Lansing United in the white kits with the baby blue and red trim. Livonia City FC in those dark navy blue kits. And they are coming off a disappointing effort against Midwest United on Friday night. They did put some things together in the second half of that match, no question about it. On the other side, Lansing United fell 2-1 to Detroit City FC on Friday night. They surrendered a late goal, so they will try to bounce back as you get a look at Sabrina McNeil. And we are underway in the third place match at the Keyworth Showcase. Neil Rule, Daniela Bruce with you. Happy to have you along wherever you may be watching around the world, brought to you by Stroh's. Some early pressure from Livonia City FC. That was something their coach, George Easter, told me that they would be looking to do, and here comes an opportunity early on the left side of the 18. Stepping through, and that left-footed shot by Gabby Scambati is blocked. But Daniela, already a very different looking Livonia City FC side than we saw on Friday night.
Neil, you have to think that's exactly what they wanted to do coming out of this game. It's never easy to lose like they did on Friday night, but that's exactly what you want to see out of this team.
Lexi Ponstein gives chase to it and going down to the turf for Livonia City FC, Jordan Anhauser, the keeper here today. Plays her college soccer at University of Michigan Dearborn. She played every minute as a freshman and sophomore. And Daniela, look, you were a high-level player. It's not every day that the freshman rolls in and plays every single minute, especially in the cage.
It is not. It is not every day. That's something that's very impressive, and hey, she's going to make an impact, obviously.
She went to the 2016 Michigan State Finals with Canton High School, was a third-team All-Stater. And that is a running theme that you will see a lot of players out here on the pitch for both sides. Very accomplished high school players, high-level college players, the total package. There is Sabrina McNeil sending that one just wide of the frame. McNeil, two-time All-MAC first-teamer at Eastern Michigan. And the corner kick coming up. Becca Mindling moves over and will put the ball in play on this hot afternoon here in Keyworth. Corner curled in, headed over the bar. But Danielle, we saw Lansing United with a very well executed corner against Detroit City FC to level that match. That's what flips the match, what happens on those set plays.
It's one play, and those set plays are huge, especially in a close game. It's definitely where you want to capitalize, and hey, they had some good pressure there even on that first corner.
Anhauser puts the boot to it, sends it up towards midfield, controlled by Rachel Philpott. We talked about that corner kick from Lansing United. She was the benefactor, and she scored the goal. Nicely flicked header. Here comes Livonia City on the other side. Gabby Scambati again on the attack, and Livonia City will scoop up a corner kick. Scambati led Michigan Tech in goals last year. So a corner coming up. Early opportunity for Livonia City FC. That ball curled in, punch back out. And we'll try it again. High in the air. Anna Stinson plays it away. Here comes McNeil again on the left side. McNeil crosses over. The touch was a little heavy. Now it's played back out towards midfield. The first 9 minutes of this Watch City broadcast brought to you by DMC, the official sports medicine provider of Detroit City FC. Lansing United again, this time trying the right side. Aaliyah Frederick was turned away but recovered. Gilmore attempts to slide it through, but coming off the line, Jordan Anhauser. But Daniela, we see Lansing United really for the first time try the right side of the pitch.
That's right, Neil, and it actually did look like they were pushing they're playing three backs right now, it looks like, at least when they're in the attacking half. So those three are definitely going to have to swing up and help out on those outside posts.
Abby Worthman for Livonia City makes her way up in front of the keeper. Worthman had 39 goals, 15 assists for Livonia Stevenson last season. Player college soccer at Madonna. That ball played over the line. And it's interesting, Daniela, to note, you see players stretching just a little bit more, than you might see only 5 minutes into the match. But make no mistake, it's a warm one out there. Schofield the target. And there's a look at Aaliyah Frederick. 58 matches started for Eastern Michigan. Was a UWS, United Women's Soccer, All Midwest first team performer for the Michigan Legends. She knows this league. She knows this level of play. Scambati sends it wide to the left. Emily Ponstein will line things up. She had a 3-0 record with 1 clean sheet for Spring Arbor back in 2018. Big bounce off the pitch, and Anhauser will make the grab. But Daniela, both these teams, we're seeing some decent action up and down the pitch.
For now, yes, exactly, Neil. But like we mentioned earlier, we're going to have to watch it when the subs are going to come in and when things like that are going to happen because of the heat. But you expect a strong start from both of these teams. They wanted to come out. They both want this win. They suffered losses on Friday night. And right now it's a pretty evenly matched game. Haven't seen anything too one-sided.
Ball sent wide to the left side. Cross in, played back out. Lansing United will try it again. Cross on frame this time. It's punched away. But Jordan Anhauser standing tall on that back line so far.
On that play, Neil, it looked like number 10 for Lansing United there. Her name, Sabrina McNeil, actually. Maybe should have one-timed that. I was thinking it one extra touch, and it might have, that might have cost her the goal. But if she took that with her left foot there, we might be looking at a 1-0 game right now.
Adriana Stoltfuss to toss it in. Lansing United beginning to insert themselves a little bit with the possession. Becca Mindling goes across the pitch. Throw-in coming up for Lansing United. That works its way through. Just touched on frame. But once again, Anhauser on the spot. So Daniela, in the 9th minute of this match, what are some of your impressions so far?
Well, I think you touched on it, Neil, that Livonia City FC in here, looks like they're going to get a good chance right on the net.
Scambati with the shot going down to the turf is Ponstein.
And as I was saying, Livonia City, they suffered a very tough loss on Friday night, but against a really good team. You've just got to be able to bounce back from those kinds of things. And as you mentioned, there were a lot of positives in the second half of that game, and it looked like they did run with those. So that's the most you can ask of the team right now. And, hey, they've come out really good. I'm impressed.
Schofield able to play it away. This afternoon's broadcast presented by Stroh's Beer, dependently Detroit since 1850. Foul is called by the head referee, Conlon Campbell. Christian Vorovenci, the assistant referee, and Joseph Knopf, the other assistant referee. Becca Mindling lets it go. Some more contact and another whistle.
Neil, we mentioned these set pieces. This is going to be a big one here for Lansing United.
In a very dangerous spot. Very valuable real estate there at the top of the D. Anna Stinson looks to be the sole proprietor of this free kick. 5 in the main wall. Stinson shot just over top of the crossbar. She gave it a lash.
Yeah, she did. That was really close. It looked like it may have even gotten a little tip on there. I'm not positive, but it looked like it may have. But that was a rocket just over the crossbar.
I'll just graze the underside of the crossbar. That ball sent up into space. Abby Worthman the target. And Worthman, I don't know if that was an elbow or more of an open hand to the face. But Abby Worthman doing a lot of work. And Daniela, you look, she's up top there, kind of on an island, up there by herself. 1v2 a lot. Takes a tremendous work rate to be able to have success.
It does, and you definitely have to count on your outside mids at that point to be up there with you when you do get the ball. Otherwise, you're going to be unevenly matched every single time.
Scumbody throws it to the middle. Great turn. Trehune. There is Megan Trehune chugging off in the distance. Corner kick coming up. Schofield throws it in. Goes free inside the 18, just punched out. Renee Wright will send it back in. Wright scored a goal for Livonia City FC last season. Tell you what, Daniela, Emily Ponstein's not playing any games with the ball when she gets it back there in goal.
She's not. That was a very quick and smart decision when you saw her throw that out. She saw her player wide open, and you saw the space they had up on that right wing, which we were talking about earlier, Neil.
Through ball up ahead. Sabrina McNeil turns on the Jets and looked like she might have been a step in, and that was the case as a flag is up on the far side.
Well done by Livonia City. They're holding their line. All the girls were pretty much right in line with that, causing that offsides call.
We move into the 13th minute here in the third place match at the Keyworth Showcase. Neil Rule, Daniela Bruce with you. We are your Watch City broadcast team, brought to you Stroh's. Ball chipped up towards the box, takes a bounce. Half volley attempt by Ponstein is blocked. Ponstein comes away with it impressively.
That's a great move you want to see by an attacker, Neil. That sometimes the defense isn't always there, but when you can see them make a play like that defensively and win possession back for their team, it's great to see.
That's high praise coming from Daniela Bruce. At her time during Anchor Bay, the all-time leader in assist and points to this day, was a leader in goals for a while. And
yeah.
You offensive players, you don't give praise to the defense all that much.
No, and you know, that's actually something that I struggled with as a forward. So that is why I say that. When I can see a forward make a great defensive play, I can really appreciate it.
Look, just get me the ball and be quiet,
exactly.
right? You want to score? Give me the ball. Trehune tried to make a move with it, played over the line, throwing coming up for Livonia City FC. Livonia City FC plays in UWS League 2. You see over on their sideline, their head coach George Easter, also the assistant coach for University of Michigan Dearborn women's team, and the varsity girls head coach at John Glenn High School. His plate is full. I asked him before Friday's match, I said, how do you do that? He's like, I don't have a choice. Fair enough. Anna Stinson sends it across, and it's buried into the top of the net. Sabrina McNeil made a run, and she was rewarded. 1-0 Lansing United.
That's a great play where you got to appreciate the timing of things, too. That cross was a great play. And then it was McNeil to finish it off. Like I said, she should have one-timed the other one. She definitely didn't take the extra touch on that one.
No, that certainly is the case. There were no chances taken. Beautiful ball
Perfect
sent across
ball.
by Stinson. Sabrina McNeil, two-time All-MAC first-team performer for Eastern Michigan. Had 7 goals last year, had 2 braces, and it's easy to see why, Daniela. Get in front of the goal.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, Neil.
Which is something seems simple enough, but there is an art form to it, isn't there?
Oh, definitely. There's being in front of the net is half the battle, but there's another half to that battle, too. You have to have the awareness of where your players are, and almost like a little bit of a telepathy there. You got to know when she's going to play the ball, and you have to be ready for that timing. And like I said, it was perfectly done between the two of them on that play. I was also impressed with that because I did see that Lansing United didn't have very many practices together before they were thrown into a game situation. So you could see the chemistry between those two was really good, even though there hasn't been too much time.
Official with the flag up, the offside call. Lansing United behind the Sabrina McNeil goal with the 1-0 lead. That ball just pops over the touchline. Morgan Dangle will throw it in, and there you see a wave of substitutions for Lansing United. Lauren Mullering makes her way onto the pitch. Incoming freshman at Spring Arbor, the native of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Lexi Ponstein will get a water break. And here comes an opportunity on the other side. Mullering just came in, trickles the shot, didn't get a lot on it, and Anhauser made the stop.
It's a great ball on that play, Neil. I didn't see exactly who got to send that one, but it was a pretty one. That was a great through ball.
Certainly was perfectly placed. Here's Mullering again. Takes her turn at the cross. Sent in a beautiful ball. It's loose inside the 18. Christy Bowden with an opportunity. Bowden, the half volley, got it on frame. Did well to get that on frame. And now, Daniela, we're seeing some very quality possession from Lansing United. They've taken control of this match in the last 4 to 5 minutes.
They have, and that is what I mentioned in the beginning, Neil, that both of these teams, of course, you're always trying to keep possession. But keeping possession when it's this hot out prevents you from chasing, prevents you from fatiguing quicker. So Lansing United is definitely going to focus on keeping the ball.
Next 9 minutes of this match presented by Metro Detroit Chevy Dealers. Another through ball attempted, this time thwarted by the back line of of Livonia City FC. Anna Stinson, four-time All-Missouri Valley Conference player at Illinois State. Daniela, you're a four-time All-Missouri Valley Conference player. You can play the game, period.
Yeah, you definitely can. You don't really need to say much after that to describe how good she is.
th minute, 1-0 Lansing United with the lead. Lansing United in the white kits with the red shorts, light blue trim. Livonia City FC in those dark navy blue kits. Here in the third place match of the Keyworth Showcase. Misfire from Ponstein, the keeper. Fortunate to get away with it. And that ball popped up towards the broadcast booth.
Gonna have to be ready for one of those coming at us, Neil.
Danielle, I was looking for you to finish off with the header right there.
Hey, that was another thing that wasn't my forte, but I would have for you, just to make sure it didn't hit you.
I like it. Leah Frederick touches it wide. Bowden gets it back. She's dispossessed. On this very warm afternoon here in Keyworth. feels down on the pitch around 95 degrees. Here's a chance just out of the reach of Mollering.
You know, Neil, I was looking at that play thinking she was going to swing out to the right side of the field, but boy, did she find that through ball right there. That was great.
Again, that bit of the unspoken chemistry that you were talking about. Kaylee Buck, who just came into the match. Stinson. Becca Minling will retreat. Anhauser off the line. 22nd minute. Lansing United off a beautiful Sabrina McNeil goal on the Anna Stinson cross. That is the difference. Couple of steps for Kaylee Book, and then she stops her pursuit. Day like today, you only have so many chases in the reservoir.
Exactly what I was telling you. It's something that you want to avoid in the heat like this. That's why gaining possession is so important. But number 20, Ariana Stoltzfus, I think is how you pronounce her last name. Neil, correct me if I'm wrong there. But she made that pass. Her headband came down. It was almost like a blindfold. So I was pretty impressed that she even got it in that general direction.
It was all feel
yeah,
at that
there
point.
You go. Chemistry.
Here come Lansing United again. Frederick moving to the right corner. And a throw-in coming up, pinned in that corner for Livonia City. Jana Frazier will come into the match. The Golden Grizzlies commit. Was her high school team captain at Canton High School. She makes her way out. Throw in coming up. Ball played out wide. We're just a few moments away from a water hydration break. Cross and over. In front of the net and putting it away. A goal for Lansing United. Just too much space.
First
that was
glance,
available.
Neil, I think it was number 6, Kaylee Buck, that gets the goal there. There it is. Yeah, that was great. And I want to go back a little on that play to the throw-in that actually caused it. Very heads-up, quick throw-in. Who I wasn't sure who made the throw-in, but she saw her player open. She nailed it. That was awesome. Very quick and heads-up play.
Spot on by the production crew here. And you're absolutely right, Daniela. Kaylee Buck got the finish. She'll get the goal in the column, but the throw-in is what the tempo that created that whole play. Kaylee Buck with it again. 2-0 Lansing United. Buck through the middle. That makes it all the way through. Poked up and over.
Great effort by Mollering on that one to make that pass go through. Another, not a very defensive play, but there's another look at that beauty of a goal. Great shot.
Buck made the turn, and it's always bad news when you're a keeper or a defender and the attacking player has possession at the ball at the 6. Like any other sport, it is a game of real estate. And that 6 line is prime real estate.
It is, and props to Kaylee Buck for getting her head up, even if it was just quickly to see where the goalkeeper was in order to place that ball.
Adriana Moroz goes down to the pitch. Officials say play on. Here comes Mollering. A little heavy with the touch and plays it over the line. And we will get the whistle and the stoppage for the hydration break. As we talked about, very warm temperatures here this afternoon. This will be about a 2-minute break before the hydration break. And we can take this time to honor tonight's Chevy Dealer Youth Club of the Match. DCFC Genesee 3, girls maroon. Rob Knuckles, the head coach. And they are your Metro Detroit Chevy Dealers team of the match. Always
Neil,
a pleasure to honor them.
It's really great to see how much the sport of soccer has grown for young women. I love seeing it. So many girls involved in soccer these days, and hey, that was my pride and joy when I was a young kid. So I'm glad to see how it's growing, and so excited to see that Detroit City FC bringing a professional team to Detroit.
Absolutely, and of course play today at the Keyworth Showcase. That's what's on the line coming up at 6:30 tonight. Detroit City FC, Midwest United FC. And we will have that for you tonight with our Watch City stream. Brought to you by Stroh's, and 2-0 Lansing United has a lead in this one. But it was Midwest United FC who put on a great show on Friday night to cement their place in the championship match, and they look like a dominant side. And then on the other side, Detroit City FC with some late match magic, some early match magic, and they rode that to a 2-1 win over Lansing United. So those are the two sides that will do battle for that trophy you just saw, and we'll have it for you every step of the way in our Watch City stream, brought to you by Stroh's. High-powered offensive attack for Midwest United.
Definitely. Any team that can score 9 goals in a game, no matter what the situation is, that's really impressive. And I was also really happy to see Detroit City FC get their first win in their first game at Keyworth Stadium. So super exciting matchup coming up ahead of us after this one, though.
And we will have that big-time match for you tonight at 6:30, as we said. Can't wait to have you along. 2-0 here, Lansing United with the lead over Livonia City FC. Neil Rule, Daniela Bruce with you. Happy to have you along.
Neil, so far in this one, I think Lansing United has really been using that right side for most of their attack. A lot of their scoring chances have come from that right side. I think both goals actually stemmed from the right side as well.
So Anhauser to put the boot to it. And away we go. Battle at midfield. A throw-in coming up. Stoltzfus over to toss it in. Not before a substitution. Madeline Fritas will check into the match from Tecumseh High School. Here's Gilmore. Her cross played away. But in a match, Daniela, that was pretty evenly contested through the first 10 minutes, we saw chances on both sides. Lansing United beginning to tilt the pitch just a bit.
Yep, and it's sort of expected. As we talked about, Livonia City FC is a new team. They're still trying to find their feet underneath them, and you've got Lansing United, who came off a pretty tough loss to Detroit City FC on Friday night. So you expect them to settle in and find their groove, and that's just how it's going to happen.
The next 9 minutes of this match brought to you by DTE. Watching this Watch City production from home, make it even better by firing up a natural gas grill. No tank required. Extending life to the outdoors thanks to our partners at DTE. Had that natural gas grill going last night, as a matter of fact. Some chicken, corn on the cob. Big corn on the cob, grilled corn on the cob guy.
You know, I actually had a hot dog while watching the Tigers game, so I had to do it. You know, you can't have one at the ballpark these days, so you have to have one watching from your couch.
I'm just happy that Adam and Max and our production team, they gave me the thumbs up on the grilled corn on the cob right away. I mean, yeah, you can trick it up. I mean, parm cheese, butter, lime. And it's so easy too. You shuck it, You throw it on the grill, 15 minutes, done.
You don't have to be any sort of professional cook to be able to grill corn. That's what you're saying, right? It's an easy one.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I take a lot of credit for grilling corn on the cob. Makes me a culinary artiste. At least that's what I tell everyone.
They might believe you. I don't know if I buy it, but some people might.
Fair. I don't think they believe me at all, to be honest with you. The more I talk about it, the less they believe me. Stoltzfus on the left side. Her cross sent through. Ball played out, I believe, for a throw. Throw in coming up. Battled along the line. It will just trickle over. Another throw in by Stoltzfus. That ball goes all the way through. I believe that's Kirsten Williams in net for Livonia City FC from Lourdes University. She started 17 matches last year as a junior. Hit 10 or more saves 4 times last year. It's a pretty high work rate for a keeper.
It is, and goalkeeping is such an important position in every sport where you do have one, but in soccer too, it is the one player on the field that can see the whole field at once. So you know a good goalkeeper has great communication skills as well.
Have to be athletic, have to be a communicator.
Exactly.
A self-psychologist at times.
Hey, you got to be tough too, because
and you got to be tough,
last
mentally
line
tough.
of defense.
Right.
Yeah, you have to be tough.
Take a beating on those corners as well. Just the battle for position. Lindley, too, comes into the match for Lansing United. Played 4 matches for the Chinese national team. Also played for the China U17 and U20 teams. Big-time player. She had some very good moments against Detroit City FC on Friday night. As two works her way backwards to defend. Kirsten Williams will line things up. So we cruise in towards the 35th minute. Conlon Campbell right now having a discussion. As the Livonia City coaching staff looks on. Another substitution for Livonia City. I just saw right there Izzy Carcaba, the Golden Grizzlies commit. 77 goals, 43 assists in 3 seasons at Dearborn High School. That's Daniela Bruce territory up there.
That's beyond my territory. 77 goals in 3 seasons. Neil, can you do that math real quick?
No.
That's also not my thing. So.
No. I'll just say it's a lot.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Let me ask you this, and maybe you can speak a little bit for Izzy. Do you ever get bored of scoring?
No.
No? All right.
You do not. You do not. Scoring is, when you're a forward especially, that's your job. You gotta put the ball in the net. So when you do, it's a good feeling. But that much, you might have to ask her, because she might be.
Carcaba, as we talked about, a Golden Grizzlies commit. I know Juan Pablo Favero, the head coach at Oakland, very excited that she will be on campus. Not only can she attack, can also play outside as a midfielder as well. So a lot of versatility in that midfield. And really, Livonia City, we saw their turnaround during the second half of that match against Midwest United. Carcaba was more up top with Worthman. They got some things done. That shot trickled in towards the frame. Williams makes the grab. foul will go against Lansing United. So we will line things up. Jana Frazier, another Oakland Golden Grizzlies commit, will tee it up. Frazier drives it over top of everyone.
I would imagine she wants that one back. I don't think she exactly meant to have that drive over to the right side. I think she wanted to be a little bit more centered on it. Those are tough plays to make, though, when your set plays are near the 50-yard line.
Here come Lansing United on the right side. That ball just off the foot of Mullering. The next 9 minutes presented by our friends at Detroit City Distillery, producing the finest small batch gin, vodka, whiskey, and of course, the exclusive City Gold, available only at the City Clubhouse. Check out their nightly block parties in Eastern Market. Ball curled ahead. Ponstein will retreat with it. Scoop it up and roll it out. Another quick restart for Ponstein.
Heads up play. I think she knew where she was going before she even picked that ball up.
Bowden sent it ahead. Williams comes off the line. Gilmore tries to play it through. And that ball just over the line. Abigail Gilmore for Lansing United. 33 matches started as an underclassman at Ferris State. 5 goals last year as Ferris State went to the NCAA Regional Championship match. Substitutions coming on for both sides. Olivia Thorne makes her way in. 46 matches played with 6 goals for Spring Arbor in 2017 and 18. Rose takes it away and makes her move. A little too heavy with the pass ahead.
She was being challenged there through the middle of the field, but it looks like if another play where if you get rid of that ball one step quicker, your forwards are in, there's a little bit more room for them to attack and a little bit more room for you to work with as well.
Just like Instagram, it's all about the angles.
It's all about the angles. That's right, Neil. Sound like a selfie king.
No, that's very much not the case. Lindley, too, threads it through. That ball poked away. Jason Chris, the head coach, you hear him in the background applauding the efforts of Lindley, too. This was a very high-quality ball. As we take a look back at the goal scored by Kaylee Buck, that's the reason it's 2-0 right now. That ball sent in and touched away. Gilmore wide to the right. Here's 2. Does well to receive the pass. Maintains possession. Still has it after she gets
work.
up. Thorne. Sent it inside the 18. And the whistle will go against Lansing United. But Lindley, too, some high-quality possession.
Definitely, that's another one of those plays. She was outnumbered 3-1 on that play, and the effort was there. And that's something that fresh legs will keep happening, Neil. She comes into the game, and she's probably a little less tired than the rest of her teammates and the girls that she's going up against.
And also 4 matches played with the China national team will also tell you that she's a pretty good player as well.
Very good player.
Stoltzfus swings it back around. Gilmore eludes the attack from Frazier. Lansing United again trying the right side of the pitch. Thorne again. That ball sent on frame, and Williams kicked it away. What a throw-in coming up. Daniela, Lansing United turning up the heat now.
They are. That was a great play by Williams in net there to keep that out. Usually when you hit the end line, your goal on a cross is not to come straight across. You want to come back a little bit, more towards the 6-yard line, just so that way to keep the goaltender away. But great play by her.
Livonia City FC getting some relief temporarily as that ball goes over the line. Pass sent up ahead looking for Emma Worthman. Worthman will head it back. Frazier plays it to the keeper, Williams. Williams, the former two-time All-State honorable mention player at Woodhaven High School. I'm just surrounded by high school soccer royalty here out on the pitch, up here in the booth. Daniela, you're a two-time All-State performer, right, at Anchor Bay?
Two-time, yes, I was. Must have peaked in high school, Neil. Just kidding.
Anchor Bay, you guys won a lot of matches.
We did.
Yeah. Stoltzfus to toss it in. Plays her college soccer at Spring Arbor. 44th minute, 2-0. Lansing United with the lead in those white kits with the light blue and red trim. Livonia City FC in the dark blues. Emma Worthman surveys the scene. Becca Minling lines it up. Drives it towards a frame. Williams down to a knee to make the grab. Always nerve-wracking, I'm sure, as the attackers bearing down on you.
Like I said, they've got to be mentally tough back there, and that's one of the reasons, and physically tough too.
Whistle and the foul happened right in front of the official. There'll be 2 minutes of stoppage time. Mindling serves it up. Just a little too much on it. Livonia City FC. I would think right now, Daniela, just want to reinforce the fact they can get to the locker room with just a 2-goal deficit, regroup a little bit, get some fluids.
They aren't out of this one, Neil. We talked about this in the beginning. One set play, 1 goal will change the whole game.
That ball swung just wide of the frame. Good attack again from Lansing United. Worthman plays it out. And you just saw in the camera shot, this back line for Lansing United, very advanced now, as much as they have been all afternoon.
They've been really strong all game, Neil. I'm not surprised that coach has them pressing a little bit more, especially near the end of a half.
wing defenders way up right now. They're looking to make a move here before halftime. Lindley 2 will send it back. Mindling to the middle. Stoppage time of the first half. Ball threaded along the line. Stoltzfus, the cross, ends up being on target. Williams made the catch again. But Daniela, you do get the feeling Livonia City here just trying to survive till halftime. Well, here comes an opportunity potentially. That ball played away.
Those are some of the things you do run into when you press your outside defenders, Neil. You've got to make sure that you're getting back and you still are playing that defense and holding that strong line.
Jana Frazier drives it into the 18. Goal kick coming up. This could do it for the first half, and it will as a halftime whistle sounds. Entertaining first 45 minutes of play. Lansing United with a 2-0 lead. Strong first half by that player, Lindley 2, and the rest of Lansing United as well. So we will take our halftime break. Come back, get you the second half of play. It's a third place match of the Keyworth Showcase. Lansing United 2, Livonia City FC 0. We'll be right back with more.
With Equinox from your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers, the sky isn't the limit. Lease a 2020 Equinox LT front-wheel drive for just $261 a month. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. The Chevy Equinox from your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers is a green thumbs up, inside and out. Lease a 2020 Equinox LT front-wheel drive for just $261 a month for 36 months. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
Football is a big deal in this house. So when Maurice was injured, we immediately thought the worst. To see my baby lose his joy hurt.
The DMC, Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan, is here to help athletes get back in the game.
They're like family. It was a long road, but we made it back.
DMC, Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan, a community built on care.
Soccer, soccer, soccer. Watch it at Detroit's premier soccer bar, the Detroit City Clubhouse. We have domestic and international. Soccer, soccer, soccer. Enjoy cold beer. Don't forget to pies, pies, pies. The Detroit City Clubhouse. Perfect for birthday parties and corporate events. Detroit City Clubhouse. Detroit's home for soccer, soccer, soccer.
In Michigan, the future is something we build with our hands and our hearts. So as one of the biggest investors in infrastructure in the state, DTE will spend $2 billion with Michigan companies this year alone, creating thousands of jobs while providing clean, safe, reliable energy, improving lives today, and building an even stronger tomorrow. Because we're all Michiganders. Nothing stands in our way. DTE.
Imaginary lines that lie between us, it's just lies. You see us beyond races and classes. One day we'll all dance and raise glasses. See, we are one. This doesn't have to be a zero-sum game where some lose and some gain. Time, space, distance, it's all relative. Think about it. We're all relatives. No time to build walls. We got bridges to mend. And that's the beauty of us. The beauty of blend.
The Chevy Trax from your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers has a sporty, compact design that makes it the perfect SUV for everywhere you like to roll. Lease a 2020 Trax LT front-wheel drive for just $222 a month. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. The The Chevy Traverse from your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers fits your life with room to grow. Lease a 2020 Traverse LT front-wheel drive for just $279 a month for 24 months. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
Football is a big deal in this house. So when Maurice was injured, we immediately thought the worst. To see my baby lose his joy hurt.
The DMC, Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan, is here to help athletes get back in the game.
They're like family. It was a long road, but we made it back.
DMC, Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan, a community built on care.
When it comes to Michigan's future, DTE is all in for you. So we're giving 2 million masks to frontline workers and 600,000 to small businesses as they reopen, helping over 500,000 families with meals and shelter, and leading a coalition to provide tablets and internet access to 51,000 school children so they can keep learning at home. DTE is all in for you. DTE.
Imaginary lines that lie between us, it's just lies. You see us beyond races and classes. One day we'll all dance and raise glasses. See, we are one. This doesn't have to be a zero-sum game where some lose and some gain. Time, space, distance, it's all relative. Think about it. We're all relatives. No time to build walls. We got bridges to mend. And that's the beauty of us. The beauty of blend.
With Equinox from your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers, the sky isn't the limit. Lease a 2020 Equinox LT front-wheel drive for just $261 a month. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. The Chevy Equinox from your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers is a green thumbs up, inside and out. Lease a 2020 Equinox LT front-wheel drive for just $261 a month for 36 months. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. With Equinox from your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers, the sky isn't the limit. Lease a 2020 Equinox LT front-wheel drive for just $261 a month. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. The Chevy Equinox from your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers is a green thumbs up, inside and out. Lease a 2020 Equinox LT front-wheel drive for just $261 a month for 36 months. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
Football is a big deal in this house. So when Maurice was injured, we immediately thought the worst. To see my baby lose his joy hurt.
The DMC, Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan, is here to help athletes get back in the game.
They're like family. It was a long road, but we made it back.
DMC, Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan, a community built on care.
Soccer, soccer, soccer. Watch it at Detroit's premier soccer bar, the Detroit City Clubhouse. We have domestic and international. Soccer, soccer, soccer. Enjoy cold beer. Don't forget to pies, pies, pies. The Detroit City Clubhouse. Perfect for birthday parties and corporate events. Detroit City Clubhouse. Detroit's home for soccer, soccer, soccer.
In Michigan, the future is something we build with our hands and our hearts. So as one of the biggest investors in infrastructure in the state, DTE will spend $2 billion with Michigan companies this year alone, creating thousands of jobs while providing clean, safe, reliable energy, improving lives today, and building an even stronger tomorrow. Because we're all Michiganders. Nothing stands in our way. DTE.
Imaginary lines that lie between us, it's just lies. You see us beyond races and classes. One day we'll all dance and raise glasses. See, we are one. This doesn't have to be a zero-sum game where some lose and some gain. Time, space, distance, it's all relative. Think about it, we're all relatives. No time to build walls, we got bridges to mend. And that's the beauty of us, the beauty of blend.
The Chevy Trax from your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers has a sporty, compact design that makes it the perfect SUV for everywhere you like to roll. Lease a 2020 Trax LT front-wheel drive for just $222 a month. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. The Chevy Traverse from your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers fits your life with room to grow. Lease a 2020 Traverse LT front-wheel drive for just $279 a month for 24 months. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
Football is a big deal in this house. So when Maurice was injured, we immediately thought the worst. To see my baby lose his joy hurt.
The DMC, Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan, is here to help athletes get back in the game.
They're like family. It was a long road, but we made it back.
DMC Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan, a community built on care.
When it comes to Michigan's future, DTE is all in for you. So we're giving 2 million masks to frontline workers and 600,000 to small businesses as they reopen, helping over 500,000 families with meals and shelter, and leading a coalition to provide tablets and internet access to 51,000 school children so they can keep learning at home. DTE is all in for you. DTE.
Imaginary lines that lie between us, it's just lies. You see us beyond races and classes. One day we'll all dance and raise glasses. See, we are one. This doesn't have to be a zero-sum game where some lose and some gain. Time, space, distance, it's all relative. Think about it, we're all relatives. No time to build walls, we got bridges to mend. And that's the beauty of us, the beauty of blend.
With Equinox from your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers, the sky isn't the limit. Lease a 2020 Equinox LT front-wheel drive for just $261 a month. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. The Chevy Equinox from your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers is a green thumbs up, inside and out. Lease a 2020 Equinox LT front-wheel drive for just $261 a month for 36 months. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
Welcome back inside historic Keyworth Stadium. 2-0 Lansing United have the lead over Livonia City FC. Neil Rule, Daniela Bruce back here with you in the third place matchup of the Keyworth Showcase. As we go back and take a look at how we got to 2-0, a couple of high quality goals from Lansing United, scores goals.
Yes, definitely, Neil. And here's Anna Stinson on the cross, and this was Kaylee Buck, number 6, that buried it. Like I said, you notice her, not only was that a perfect cross, but she gets her head up to see where the keeper's at. Really quick, you can see it, and then she finds that corner of the net, and it was a beautiful finish, beautiful play. We talked about the connection that they have, the communication that they have, chemistry. It's been great so far through this first half.
And this was the one that got Lansing United on the board to get things started. Sabrina McNeil right there and made no mistake.
She did not, and I know I gave her a little bit for not taking a shot earlier in the game and taking that extra touch, but she buried that one, and she didn't even think twice about it. So great play there, great finish.
A tremendous 9-minute stretch there for Lansing United. This is a matchup that went back and forth over the course of the first 10 minutes, but then Lansing United began to assert themselves and Daniela really dominated the course of play, I'd say the last 35 minutes of the first half.
They did, Neil, and Livonia is not out of it by any means, but I think one thing that they're going to have to do better in the second half is winning the 50-50 balls. If you notice, a lot of those were Lansing United throughout that first half, and that's a huge part of the game, especially when we talk about needing to keep possession to make sure girls aren't getting so fatigued.
Real field temperatures out there on the pitch, certainly towards the upper 90s, maybe even pushing 100 on the actual turf. Very warm afternoon, as we talked about. There will be another hydration break here in the second half, but this, Danielle, is something we talked about. Any opportunity anybody gets, you see that, just the stretching, the stretches, need to keep the muscles loose, fight off those cramps.
Definitely. It's super important, especially in this heat. Like you said, pushing 95 degrees out here, and you can see the heat coming off the turf, so it's hot.
And really, Daniela, you begin those preparations last night, don't you, with what you put in your body, knowing what you're up against here today?
Definitely, and these ladies have been prepping probably for a week or so, just knowing that you have 2 games in potential weather like this, and it's not easy to play 2 games in a weekend when you're battling the weather and you're tired from your first game, let's be honest there, so they've got to make sure that they're fueling their bodies correctly, probably a whole week before.
Conlon Campbell gets ready to blow the whistle. He does so, and away we go. Special thanks to our friends at Strategic Staffing Solutions, headquartered in Detroit, placed around the globe, people-powered, customer-centered, community champions, the perfect staffing agency for your needs. Neil Rule, Daniela Bruce with you on your Watch City stream, brought to you by Stroh's. Ball chipped ahead by Lexi Ponstein. Anna Stinson tries to make a move with it. That cross finds its mark. Shot with the left foot, just wide of the left post. Sabrina McNeil again needed to take that touch this time to settle it down, just missed the frame.
You know, Neil, I heard a little bit of Lansing United's halftime meeting there, and coaches were talking about how they need to time their runs and judge their runs a little bit better through the second half. And what that really means is just knowing when to make your run and what type of run to make. So if your midfielder's got a lot of attacking space as a forward, you might be able to run a bit away and look for that through ball. But if they're under pressure, if your midfielder's under pressure, you got to come to the ball, demand that ball at your feet. So we might see a little bit more of that happening for Lansing United through the second half.
There is the Lansing United coaching staff. Their head coach, Jason Christ, a 2-time NAIA National Coach of the Year at Spring Arbor, where they won 2 national championships. Coached last year's NWSL Rookie of the Year in Bethany Balser, who has set the NWSL on fire. Just gives you really a look into the depth of talent that there is, especially in the state of Michigan. Ponstein with it, her cross to the middle, tapped away.
Really a good ball by Ponstein. I mentioned that earlier in the first half. When you get to that end line, you really have to look for the angle and kind of go in between the 18 and the 6-yard line looking for that penalty marker area. So it really was a nice ball, just unfortunate no one there to finish.
Livonia City FC will toss it in. They play in the UWS League 2, going against one of the very best UWS teams really in the nation in Lansing United. I mean, if you call 15-1-4 in the last 2 seasons one of the best in the nation, which I would tend to, when you lose 1 match in 2 years, I'll call you one of the best teams.
Got to be up there.
Yeah. That ball loose right at the line of the 18. Played ahead for Abby Worthman. That ball will be sent out of play, normally where the northern guard would be. Another throw in for Lansing United. Sammy Krikorin, the target. Krikorin started 30 matches as an underclassman at Ball State. Was an all-stater at Dexter High School. And that seems to be a running theme, Daniela. Again, when we talk about the talent, I bring up some of their college careers, and no matter what level they play at, you see, started all these matches and, as an underclassman, freshman, sophomore. It's impressive.
It is very impressive, Neil, especially when you're making that jump from high school soccer to college soccer. It's a huge difference. The athletes are all around better. So when you can come in and make a statement as a younger class, or an underclassman, excuse me, they're great soccer players.
Corner kick awarded as Becca Minling will move over. And again, Becca Minling, 23 matches started as a freshman at Spring Arbor. The list goes on. Right there in front of the DCFC Chevy Blazer. Minling, strong leg, had it on frame, bobbled for a moment, but Kirsten Williams recovered. We saw this on Friday. Lansing United very capable on set pieces.
Minling has a great cross. I'm assuming she takes all of their corner kicks when she's in the game. She's got a great ball in there, and that was a very solid scoring chance.
The height and the depth.
She finds the perfect spot, too, that back post. It's almost right at the back post. She's right there. I'm sure her players know that's where she's going to put the ball.
Marge Trehune down on the turf. Trehune played at St. Lawrence University. Anna Stinson looking to counter. Stinson sends it up into space. And now that ball will trickle over the line.
Credit to Lansing United on that press there. It looked like Stinson was going to be by herself for a moment, but her teammates were quick to put the pressure on Livonia City FC. That's something that I think Livonia needs to do a little bit better in the second half as well, is find that pressure. You don't see United's back line under very much pressure, which is something that they're going to need to do if they want to even this thing up.
Pretty soon it will get to be about that point in the match when you're down by 2. You get up near that 65th, 70th minute. It's time to make your move.
Yep, you've got to have an attacking mindset at this point.
Scambati plays it back in towards the 18. Mackenzie Hengish unable to wrap it up. Samantha Tracy, it looks like, into the match for Lansing United. Also plays her college soccer at Spring Arbor. 7 matches played as a freshman back in 2017.
Quite a few girls that play at Spring Arbor. That could be part of the reason, Neil. We talk about their chemistry there. There's 9 girls that play college soccer together or at the same university. So definitely helps when you're trying to build a team around a core that has played together like that.
And oh, by the way, too, as we talked about with Jason Chris, the head coach, 2 national championships during his time there. That always helps as far as chemistry goes because, look, what's the best chemistry? Talent.
Yep.
And when you're winning national championships, you tend to get a lot of talent. With some physicality there from Becca Minling. Marge Trehune, the victim of circumstance, as we see here. So the restart coming up for Lansing United. Lansing United, as we talked about earlier, fell to Detroit City 2-1 on Friday night. Did have very good runs of play, however. There were stretches where they certainly were the aggressor, and the flag is up. Sponstein let that one go, but I think you might have had your pick of two perpetrators as far as the offside call goes. So we move towards the 55th minute. Koren able to head it away temporarily.
Although it wasn't exactly what she wanted on it, Neil, that's the kind of 50-50 ball you're talking about winning. That was a great effort to get the ball and advance it forward.
Find yourself down 2 in the second half, you have to start to roll the dice in terms of those 50-50 balls, and at some point somebody's just got to go make a play, right?
Right.
And there was a play as that shot sent just wide of the frame, but Trahune again. And we saw Trahune have some success, especially in the first half against Detroit City FC, or excuse me, against Midwest United FC, where there were spells where she played very well. And you would figure if Livonia City FC gets into this, back into this match here against Lansing, Trahune might be at the forefront of that. Trahune gives chase to this one. And there, very aggressive play from Trahune. She's playing some quality minutes right now.
She is, just like we're talking about, Neil. She knows that time is running out. If you are going to make a play, you're going to have to do that, and that starts with one player sometimes. So hopefully she can get this team rallied around her.
There was Izzy Karkaba, we spoke about earlier in the match. But this has been a different half for Livonia City. That ball sent in, played out, but the throw-in will be coming for Livonia. So they have become the aggressor here in the first 10 minutes of the second half.
They have, and as we said, they started off pretty strong. It was an evenly matched game in the first 10 minutes of the first half, I'm sorry. So if they keep this going through the second half, Lansing United's going to get tired too. Everybody out there is going to be fatigued. Things can happen. They just need one play to go their way.
That shot fired in on frame.
Feel like
Tracy forced to make a stop.
I may have jinxed that one. That one went right off the post. Luck needed to be in their way.
But they will concede a corner. And you see a bounce in the step of Livonia City right now. Corner lined up. Served in towards the back post. Got knocked down. Shot fired over top of the crossbar. But a prime look for Livonia City FC. And that was Trahune again.
They look strong right now, Neil. I would be a little worried if I was Lansing United.
Karkaba, very confident play as she wings it back. Trahune giving chase, winning possession, and turning. Her cross goes out, calling for a corner, and what will be the decision? I believe it will be a corner awarded. Yes, it will be.
Lineman was originally pointing goal kick, but that overturned.
So business picking up for Livonia City FC. Corner serve towards the spot. Nobody in dark blue there, however. And now Lansing United looking to mount a counter. That pass skillfully played away. Scambati works 1v1 to the top of the 18.
Great little series there by Livonia that definitely has to build some confidence moving forward in this second half.
Selvius has her pass knocked away. Lansing United will send it wide to the left side. McNeil tries to make a turn. A little too much steam on the ball as it will go over the goal line. A goal kick coming up. There is Kenzie Selvius. Started 14 matches as a freshman at Spring Arbor in 2018. 7 goals, 8 assists. She came in and made a difference. Kelly Poston played that one over the line. Poston turns, plays it back. Now steps through and clears it out. Scombati continuing to pressure. But Daniela, this match has a totally different feel right now than it did the last 5 minutes of the first half.
It does. It really does. Livonia City putting that pressure on that we keep talking about that they're going to need if they want to tie this thing up. They definitely have it right now. And if they can hold that for a few more minutes, get through the second half, I think we might have a very interesting game on our hands.
There's Rachel Philpotts. Had a goal against Detroit City off a corner. Wide to the right. Ponstein, her cross blocked. Kelly Poston did the job. Poston plays her college soccer at Saginaw Valley State, set her high school record for career assists at Huron High School. As Daniela Bruce nods her head, that's something only high school career assist leaders can understand, I guess.
Hey, sometimes the assist, that felt better than the goals, I have to tell you that. For a minute when I held that goal record, holding the assist was my most proud achievement.
Corner sent in, headed just wide of the left post. Don't lie, Daniela. It's better to score goals. Don't lie. You can.
The feeling, yes, but knowing you can do both is it's great.
You can lie to me, Daniela, but don't lie to yourself, all right? Just such an art to scoring goals. Longtime college coach I was speaking to one time about finishers told me, you know, there's a reason the best goal scorers in the world make $50 million a year, because there's not a lot of them. It certainly is a skill.
The higher level you play, too, the harder it becomes,
right.
Obviously. So seeing somebody that can finish.
Throw in coming back, some substitutions coming in for Lansing. Thorne, Bowden, and Mollering will come in. So lots of reinforcements here in the 62nd minute. Throw in comes. Lansing United certainly dropping more players back. We saw during that run of play in the first half where they would have just 2 defenders. Now there's as many as 5. Of course, as your position in the game changes, so does your position on the pitch.
Exactly. I would think they want to gain control of this game again, and if they do, you'll probably see 2 at the back again as they move forward. But for now, they definitely want to regain that control they had and settle down a little bit.
Try to maybe choke the life out of the last 28 minutes plus of this match. Poston. Curls one inside the 18. Played away. Pass across looking for Buck. A little too much on it. Kaylee Buck had the game-winning goal in high school for Paw Paw with 3 minutes left in the regional semifinals.
Now that's an exciting goal.
Yep. Next 9 minutes of this match brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers.
You could see the hesitation on that play. The left wing knew she was going to be off on that one. It was a great ball, though.
There is Jason Christ, who we've been talking about at length of this match. Put together a powerhouse with Lansing United. Also a powerhouse at Spring Arbor as well. Restart. Sent ahead. Nice job by Mindling to get it out of harm's way. It's played over the line by Worthman. Here come Lansing United after the turnover. Buck jumping up into the play on the right side. Stinson up as well. Cross sent over, headed up in the air. And now it's loose right at the top of the 18. Chipped up ahead off the crossbar. Thorne rattled the bar. Buck with it. Sends it over to Stinson. Cross played in, played back out. A corner awarded. But some trying times here, Daniela, for Livonia City FC.
Yes, and man, that shot was just a little high, a couple inches lower, and we're looking at a 3-0 game.
Just a wild sequence. Corner served right at frame, and Williams will knock it down and grab it. Kirsten Williams has done well here in the second half. Lansing United found some spring in their step. Here's Buck. Buck's pass was knocked down. Will it result in a corner? I believe it will. So some good fortune there for Lansing United. Danielle, we've talked about a lot during this broadcast. These corners are scoring opportunities for Lansing United.
Oh, they are. Like we said, they put in a beautiful cross every single time. It seems to always find that back post. And you see that's where all of the Lansing United players are gathered, hoping for another good one. But this is also something that Livonia really wants to avoid.
Corner sent in short. Livonia able to relieve some of the pressure. Making a great turn with it is Worthman. Worthman working 1v2. Sends a crossover, but just nobody up to help Worthman out. Trahune was in the middle of the box. Gabby Scombati led Michigan Tech in goals last year, where she plays her college soccer. Some contact and bodies hitting the pitch, and a throw-in coming up for Livonia. Marge Trahune will throw it. No, she'll give way. Just a couple of moments away from the hydration break. Hydration break will give us a chance to catch you up with what happened here so far today. This 2-0 Lansing United lead. Now they're looking for more as Buck jumps up into the play. Worthman. Whistle away from the ball. What do we have?
Looks like she was offsides at the original play of the ball.
Quick restart for Lansing. They're looking to go. Frederick, dispossessed. Poston sent it up. Carcaba the target. Carcaba battles against Stinson. Stinson wins that battle. Nice little touch through. Stinson lets it go. And Williams got a fingertip on it that redirected it off the crossbar.
That ball seems to be magnetic to the crossbar right now for Lansing United. That is the second one in just a few minutes.
Shot was an absolute rocket. And that was all started by Stinson.
Great move to beat the last defender. She puts it right past her, runs the other side. It's almost like playing yourself a through ball.
One player give and go, huh?
Exactly.
That ball sent inside. Tremendous finish by Christy Bowden. And that is a huge goal for Lansing United as they take a 3-0 lead. But what a class finish by Bowden.
Great finish, and also another great cross in. All of their goals have come from the outside. This one coming from the left side, as we see here. We talked about the right side being really strong, so using that weak side to capitalize and make this game a 3-0 game. Lansing's really got to like the position they're sitting in now.
And that will take us into the hydration break. Sabrina McNeil, the benefactor of a beautiful cross, dishes out a beautiful cross of her own. And that puts Lansing United in the boss's chair for this match. Kirsten Williams, not much she could do. But again, we see the class of Lansing United on corners, on crosses. We've seen on the goals that they've scored here today. They have done the job when needed. As we will take a look at our upcoming matches. Of course, 6:30 tonight. Don't go anywhere. Midwest United FC and Detroit City FC as they will play for the Keyworth Showcase Championship. And next weekend, the men will take center stage as they host Cleveland SC on Friday night and FC Buffalo on Sunday afternoon. We'll have it all for you right here on our Watch City stream, brought to you by Stroh's. Myself and John Krieger will have the action for you for those three matches. But Daniela Bruce, as we look at this match, Lansing United has taken control, certainly with that goal a couple moments ago, but here's how we got to 3-0.
Here's the first goal. That's McNeil, who just dished that beautiful cross on the third goal, Neil, with a finish there. Wow, that was, I'm saying McNeil and saying your name, Neil. That was an interesting play on words there, but that was a great finish. We talked about her taking the extra touch earlier in the game, and she did not take an extra touch there. And here was the play off the throw-in, which really set up this goal. And this is Buck with the finish. Like I said, gets her head up, finds that corner. But it really starts with that quick throw-in. The heads-up play by the thrower really caused this goal.
And that is the mark of a good team that executes all the little things in the build-up. And that's what we've seen. When Lansing United has had success in this Keyworth Showcase, it's been a complete performance in that every little attention to detail has been tended to. And you have to be a good side to be able to do that.
You do.
Kaylee Buck, who's been jumping up into the play, especially on the counterattack over the course of the last few moments, as we see that service from McNeil, the finish by Bowden, and that may be the one that locks up the third place match. We will see.
3-0 is a tough deficit to come back from. So, like we said earlier, there's really going to need to be some pressure from Livonia if they want to get back into this one.
3-0 certainly is a tall hill to climb. Made taller with a real feel of 96 degrees outside. You have to do all those little things, win those little individual battles to get back into it.
overall for Livonia, a much better showing than they had on Friday night,
question.
though. So improvements for them.
They came out of the halftime break. And make no mistake about it, they were the aggressor. They were the dominant side for a good 10 to 15 minute stretch. But Lansing United able to take advantage, and now we'll see if they can salt this thing away. But here comes Livonia again with an opportunity. That ball sent over top. Was it deflected? No. The goal kick will be awarded. Ponstein will line things up. Livonia City FC under some pressure now in the 75th minute. They need to get it rolling. Thorne with it. She has it played away. Cross sent over by Stinson. Works its way towards the left side of the box. Bowden, who just scored. Throw in coming up. Mollering tosses it in. Selvius. Mollering on that left side. Renee Wright sent it ahead, but right to Mollering. There's a shot on frame, not a ton on it. Williams plays a short hop. Daniela, interesting to see too, as I look at the Lansing United back line. As you said, once they would grasp control, they might move some more players forward, and that is exactly what they're doing. There's a shot. Initial stop is made, but Sabrina McNeil sees it go just off of her foot. She was all by herself, but the ball would not cooperate.
Yeah, as you mentioned, you see 3 back right now, and they've been pressing to points where it is 2 again, and earlier they just had to regain that control and not panicking, bringing a player back and kind of resetting from your defensive line is really how you do that. Make sure you've got control of the entire game.
Ball trickles in towards Williams. That was just out of the reach of Anna Stinson. We have said Anna Stinson's name a lot over the course of the last 10 minutes. Carcaba does well to take that ball away. Livonia City looking to attack. Too much on that pass up ahead.
Those are the small battles that Livonia has to win through the midfield, though, if they're going to get on the board here.
Whistle against Lansing United. But let's check out this save. Did very well to go vertical and punch it away. Frederick on the move. She will win a corner.
That really was a beauty of a save, and we haven't seen too many rebounds given up. I think that might have been the first one that we've seen all game with a really solid second scoring opportunity.
Wave of substitutions here for Lansing United. They will bring in 5. Lindley 2 coming in, who had a tremendous run of play in the first half. She had a stretch where she was a dominant force out there as well. As Jason Chris, the head coach, may be looking to salt this one away. Corner coming up. Squirts free towards the top of the 18. Stoltzfus will serve it back in. More of a hopeful ball than anything else. Adriana Moroz will come back in for Livonia City FC. We'll see how Livonia City FC plays out this last 10 minutes plus of this match.
One thing I am a little surprised to see, Neil, is that they've still got the lone forward up top, causing a 2-on-1 or 3-on-1 most of the time. I'm surprised they're not pushing a little bit more, especially now.
Here's two. Stepping through, some good footwork. The flag is up. Pretty display by Lindley too, but it goes for naught as the flag was in the air. That was fun to watch, though. Former Chinese national player, the U17 and U20 teams. Played 4 matches for the China national team as well. Gotta imagine how that feels to be standing there representing your country, the national anthem being played.
Better than scoring a goal, I bet.
I would bet. I mean, I guess depending on the goal.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Scoring a goal in that national
There you go.
uniform representing your nation would be
That'd be the
greatest,
parlay.
though.
Yeah. That would be the double burger.
Keep talking about food, Neil. Hungry.
Right. Well, we'll have to get some food to throw down before the championship match of the Keyworth Showcase coming up at 6:30. Detroit City FC, Midwest United FC, going to be a good one, folks. Very tall task for Detroit City FC. A Midwest United side looking like a well-oiled machine. Of course, Detroit City FC played them last weekend out in Grand Rapids. They had a 1-0 lead before Midwest struck for 2 goals in a 3-minute stretch. So I'm excited to see that one. And there's a shot that goes just wide of the frame. Lauren Turner, a problem there for Livonia. Sammy Kokorin comes back in. 82nd minute. Carcaba. Sees it played back.
When Livonia has possession of the ball, you are seeing, it looks like they're trying to play 3 up top right now when they do have possession of the ball. So that is something that I did expect to see. A few more people nearing the 50-yard line when they're in their defensive zone.
Lexi Ponstein will come in. As we move into the 83rd minute. This stretch of the match brought to you by Stroh's. Make sure you stick with us at 6:30. Detroit City FC, Midwest United FC. Long lash sent over top of the bar. We will have your Watch City stream brought to you by Stroh's live. Huge viewership numbers on Friday night. I'm sure we'll have tons of viewers from all over. Had viewers checking in on social media from Singapore, Europe, all over the world. Wave of substitutions for Livonia. There is Itzi Carcaba. She makes her way off. Some dejected faces for Livonia City FC. But make no mistake, they played well here this afternoon.
They did, and they had some really great stretches through both of these halves. We thought they looked dangerous at the beginning of the second half here.
Really showed a lot as Worthman gets ready for the throw-in, and she steps right into your living room. but it says a lot about, certainly to the end of the first half, we commented more than a few times that Lansing United were really like sharks circling in the water. It looked like Livonia City was in some serious trouble, but they came out in the second half and took over this match for a 10 to 15 minute stretch. But as you see, Daniela, when you're down and you have a good run of play, if you don't quite break through with that goal, it becomes a lot to overcome.
That's exactly it. And that third goal is usually the barrier in soccer. A lot of the times a 2-0 deficit doesn't seem as bad, but when you get to that 3-0, you're talking about a huge thing to overcome here. It would be nice to see them get on the board, though. They have had some quality opportunities.
Frederick, right side. Cross in, goes all the way through. Played to the top of the 6 and touched along the turf. But Williams goes down to make the grab, but a dangerous opportunity for Freitas.
Very dangerous. And another play from that right side. It was Frederick with the ball. Again, another perfect ball. They really play well from the outside flanks here.
Freitas touches this one out wide. That shot skips in towards Williams as she makes the grab. Ponstein works 1v1. Taken down, and we have a corner. I believe we do. Which certainly hurts Livonia City, not just from the corner perspective, but this will be another 30 seconds that runs off the clock.
Looks like Ponstein is going to take this one. We have seen Mindling taking most of them.
Corner sent in. That's headed just wide. Lindley 2. Searching for that left post. Just missed it. Keep your eye on Lindley 2. Some heat on that corner.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Her timing was just a hair off. I think she might have had that if she was just a tiny bit earlier.
Freitas tried to step through. Throw in coming up for Lansing. Another corner kick coming up. But again, the bad news, another 20 or 30 seconds that will run off the clock. So Lansing United in good shape to win the third place match here at the Keyworth Showcase.
Great defensive play there in the short corner.
Throw in coming up. Worthman will toss it in. Nope. Instead it will go to Lansing. Now the whistle sounds. 88th minute. Guessing we'll have about 3 minutes of stoppage time. Scambati played it ahead. Trehue not able to make the turn. Undeterred, though, goes back after it.
I don't think we've said it enough, Neil. Lansing United's back line has stood so tall throughout this whole game. They have made very few mistakes.
Good defensive play made by Dangle. Here's 2, moving to the right, still with it at her foot. Back heel switch by Freitas. There's a shot that goes just wide. Lansing United dangerous here in the waning moments of this match.
Lindley, too, with some great footwork there at the top of the box, too, to keep the possession for Lansing United. She really made that play happen.
Here comes Lansing United again. Stoltzfus, this time dispossessed. Ball's played up. As we cross over into the 90th minute. Frederick does well to keep it. 2, quick touch ahead. Ponstein inside the 18. Her cross played away. 2 knocks it down. 2 surveys the scene. Toe pokes it ahead. And Williams down to grab it.
She really wanted that one. You could tell. Just a little misstep on the shot, but she really wanted it. That's another one of those crosses that I've mentioned. When you get to the end line, you really got to look back to kind of cut off that angle. If she would have came back to the 6-yard line, that would have made the defense play a lot harder.
We are in stoppage time. 2 minutes of stoppage time. Lansing United looks like they will come away with the victory. But by no means was it easy here this afternoon. Livonia City FC, very game. Just could not break through to get the one that could really turn up the heat. Ball sent into the box. All alone. Right foot shot rattled off the crossbar by Freitas.
Telling you, that crossbar is their worst enemy today.
Freitas trickles that one wide. An explosion off the right foot of Madeline Freitas that draws the bar.
And of course it's easier said than done, but Freitas there probably should have settled down a little bit, maybe inside of the foot. You're right there on net. You just got to beat the goalkeeper at that point. Power isn't. That was more of a finesse shot.
That ball goes across, played out. And that shot will go wide. But Danielle, I think you're seeing the effects of 93-degree heat. Just tough to move towards the
Definitely,
towards the end.
especially when you know you're in stoppage time and you've got the 3-goal lead. And of course, she probably wants it back. But yes, they've all got to be beat. And even though with the hydration breaks, that's not always enough when you're playing in almost 100-degree weather on field turf, which makes it almost 10 degrees hotter.
Right. That ball comes up. The official checks his watch. Conlon Campbell blows the whistle, and it is a final. Lansing United with a 3-0 win here in the Keyworth Showcase. We'll take a break, come back, and wrap this thing up for you. This is the Watch City Stream, brought to you by Stroh's.
The Chevy Trax from your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers has a sporty, compact design that makes it the perfect SUV for everywhere you like to roll. Lease a 2020 Trax LT front-wheel drive for just $222 a month. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. The Chevy Traverse from your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers fits your life with room to grow. Lease a 2020 Traverse LT front-wheel drive for just $279 a month for 24 months. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
Football is a big deal in this house. So when Maurice was injured, we immediately thought the worst. To see my baby lose his joy hurt.
The DMC, Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan, is here to help athletes get back in the game.
They're like family. It was a long road, but we made it back.
DMC Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan, a community built on care.
DTE's natural gas is a lot more than just an energy source. It perks up your mornings and eases you into relaxed evenings. It works both hard and smart. It can help heal the body and transport the mind. And at the end of the day, cleaner, safe, affordable natural gas is there to do more than just dry your clothes. It's a warm hug waiting to happen. DTE.
Imaginary lines that lie between us, it's just lies. You see us beyond races and classes. One day we'll all dance and raise glasses. See, we are one. This doesn't have to be a zero-sum game where some lose and some gain. Time, space, distance, it's all relative. Think about it. We're all relatives. No time to build walls. We got bridges to mend. And that's the beauty of us. The beauty of blend.
Welcome back inside historic Keyworth Stadium here. The Keyworth Showcase third place match, now a final. Lansing United with a 3-0 win over Livonia City FC. Neil Rule, Daniela Bruce, back with you. And Daniela, you look at this match here today, a very game Livonia City FC side, but the class of Lansing United showed itself, especially on a couple of set pieces.
It did, and Lansing United, all the credit to them. I said at the beginning possession was going to be even more key than it normally is in this game, and they kept possession, they kept control of this whole game. And the other thing that I noticed that was really strong was their back line. They didn't give up very many chances, and they didn't make very many mistakes. So you're going to win a soccer game if you can do those two things.
And that is exactly what they did here today as we get a look at the goal scores. A couple of goals in a 9-minute stretch in the first half, and then in the second half, Christy Bowden puts things away. Now keep in mind that was right behind a good run of play from Livonia City FC, where they were asking a lot of questions of Lansing United. But in the end, Lansing United comes away with the 3-0 win. That'll wrap up our coverage here of our consolation match of the Keyworth Showcase. Make sure you come back at 6:30. Detroit City FC, Midwest United FC. It's the championship match. For Daniela Bruce, my name is Neil Rule. Thank you for watching, everybody. Well, see you later.